What is up, guys, and welcome back to Gear TV. In today's episode, we're going to break down what exactly is a blockchain, because I'm sure you've heard about it all over the news, and very few people truly understand first what a blockchain is, and secondly why it is so important and relevant in today's day and age. You see, at the very simplest core, a blockchain essentially is a digital distributed database. Okay, that doesn't sound too exciting, but when we look at databases and ledgers, essentially what databases and ledgers are, they're one of the oldest tools that mankind has used for the most important tasks. Whether it is from tallying the votes that decide who becomes the next president, to keeping track of all the transactions that happen in a financial landscape, like banks, to seeing who has how much in their accounts, who's sending what to whom, and of course third also, supply chain management. For example, knowing exactly where did a thing come from, how was it produced, and keeping track of the entire flow of things along the way. You see, in the past, we kept track of these databases very manually. A few key players, a few gatekeepers and central power holders held the keys to these databases, and they could make changes as they desired. You know, whether it is the big banks knowing exactly who has how much, but we as individuals have no clue who owns what. Now, with a distributed system, we give the keys back to the people. And the way it works is that essentially, instead of having one big database that goes top to bottom, where whoever is in charge of the database can enter a new line, and if they want to, maybe erase or delete a part of history. Now with blockchain, we're taking it to a linear approach, from left to right, where essentially every 10 minutes, new transactions happen. And these transactions get bundled into what's called a block. So every 10 minutes, a new block is produced. And when that new block is produced, it gets added on to the previous block. So this is how we get a blockchain, because every 10 minutes, a new block is added to the chain. And here's the beautiful part. In order to change a block, you have to change every single block that follows. Meaning, if you want to go back, let's say a year, even a day, you have to change every single block that followed. And not only do you have to change it, but you have to keep up with all the new blocks being added. This is what makes it, as we call it, immutable. You cannot change the past when it comes to a blockchain. And that's very important for two reasons. Because first of all, when it comes to centralized databases and ledgers, we can't always trust the people in charge. Oftentimes the people in charge will take advantage. They'll change history, and they simply are in full control of what is reality. When it becomes decentralized, it is no longer the hands of one person, but much rather millions of people across the world can, for example, mine it. And we'll get into mining in the next video. But essentially, it's a verification process to make sure everything is done properly. And here's the thing, even if you trust your central power players, maybe say, you know what, I don't have doubts with the government, I don't have doubts with the banks, it still protects you from other outsiders, like hackers, for example. All a hacker has to do is hack into the central database and steal all the data or corrupt the data, and they can simply have direct access. Now, they can't do that with a blockchain, because in order to change a blockchain, you have to control over 51% of all the miners, all the computers in the world in order to make a change. And even then, it's still a catch-up play, as we'll discuss in the coming video. So overall, blockchain is an incredible tool, an incredibly powerful technology that is about to disrupt one of the oldest tools that we've been using. Things as simple as a ledger that dates back as far as ancient Egypt. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, because blockchain is about to change the world, and we here at Gear TV are the cutting edge of the technological revolution that is happening in front of our eyes. So stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll be diving into what mining is, what is proof of work, and how does Bitcoin stay the decentralized power that it claims to be.